Giants, they get their number one target in free agency and sign the big wide receiver Kenny Golladay to a 4-year, $72 million deal. So Golladay here, only 27 years old, and he gets $40 million guaranteed in this 4-year deal. He'll be making $18 million a year is Golladay. And last season, it was a tough season for Golladay, though. He only played 4 ball games, but he still gets the huge money he was commanding on the free agent market, and only a few teams were in on him. But the Giants were most aggressive. They had him in for a 24-hour meeting, and he left the building, but they still secured him with a big deal. He's New York. In New York, they really haven't had a number one receiver really since Odell Beckham, and they traded him a few seasons ago. So Danny Dimes, Daniel Jones, this is probably his last chance as a starter in this league, and he gets a true number one wide receiver in Kenny Golladay. The only knock on him, obviously, is staying healthy and staying on the field for his team. But Golladay, when he's on top of his game, he looks like one of the better wide receivers in pro football. And right here, this is what the Giants need. And now they got Golladay to go with Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton in their wide receiver core. Also at tight end with Evan Ingram and newly signed Kyle Rudolph and Saquon Barkley. So a pretty good offense for the Giants. Their only need is offensive line, in my opinion, for this team. And Kenny Golladay, he's going to make things easier. He's a big wide receiver that could go up and get it and make a few plays. And this is exactly why the Giants wanted him bad. And they gave him the $18 million a year that he was looking for. In 2019, Golladay had a huge season, 65 catches, 1,190 receiving yards, and a huge 11 touchdowns and a fumble loss on 116 targets. And then last season, like I said, he only played 4 games, but he still produced 20 catches for 338 receiving yards and 2 receiving touchdowns on 32 targets. So Golladay, he makes this Giant team right up there in the NFC East right now. Last season, the Giants, they missed winning the division only by a game, even though the division was the worst one easily in all of pro football. But this year, they should be better. Their defense played better, and they get a total start at the wide receiver like Golladay. And as far as fantasy football goes, Golladay, he's a player you're probably going to target in the 4th or 5th round of your fantasy drafts, and he'll probably be a number 1 or 2 wide receiver on most fantasy teams this season, depending where you go with running backs, receivers, and quarterbacks early in your drafts. And this season, if he stays healthy, I think he'll crack 1,000 yards easy, and I think he'll get anywhere from 8 to 10 touchdowns with this Giant team. So Kenny Golladay, the biggest name on the offense here in free agency, makes a big splash with the New York Giants, and we'll see what he does for the Giants and fantasy owners in the upcoming 2021 season.